Welcome to this introduction to economic evaluation. Economic evaluation are concerned with choices. Resources are scarce and choices need to be made. Economic evaluation can be defined as being systematic and explicit comparative analysis of alternative courses of action in terms of both cost, the inputs, and the consequences, the outputs. And these need to be identified, measured, valued, and then compared. If any of these elements is missing, then it's a partial economic evaluation, whether there's missing a comparator or only consequences are compared. What this video is about is full economic evaluation, of which there are three types: the cost-effectiveness analysis, the cost-utility analysis, and the cost-benefit analysis. What distinguishes these three types of economic evaluations is how we measure the consequences. So we always measure the cost on the input side, but in the cost-effectiveness analysis, we measure the consequence as one single effect, and this is similar between the two different options that we're comparing. This effect is a natural unit. It can be a life year, it can be a reduction in points of blood pressure, for example, and it answers the question, what is the cost per natural unit? When there are multiple effects, it could be difficult to conduct a CEA. And then you have two options. You can use a CUA, the cost utility analysis, or a CBA, the cost benefit analysis. Both of these methods can handle multiple effects. They can also be used for a single effect. And what they do is that they include evaluation of the consequences. So in the cost utility analysis, you provide a utility value to the effects of the health intervention, of each of the two interventions that you're comparing, typically referred to quality adjusted life years, which take into consideration both quantity and quality of life, and it answers the question, what is the cost of gaining the improvement in health state? In the cost-benefit analysis, what you do is that you give a dollar value to your consequences, and then you answer the question, is it worth achieving this goal for this amount of money? So there are multiple steps and elements to an economic evaluation, whether you're conducting one or reviewing one for its validity and strength. An economic evaluation should have a background that provides a clear context and relevance of the evaluation. It should also clearly identify which perspective is taken for the costs. It could be the organization, such as a hospital, and then you would only include costs related to the hospital. It can be the insurer, which might be insuring for costs across healthcare system. It can be the society, in which you would include absenteeism from illness in your as indirect cost. And the perspective would need to be justify why was this viewpoint chosen. The study question should clearly identify also and justify which type of economic evaluation is being conducted. What are the costs? How are they calculated? What are the consequences that are being measured? Who is the target population? What is the intervention of interest? And what is the comparator? And why is this comparator valid and relevant to the intervention that we're interested in? And also speak to the healthcare setting in which the economic evaluation is taking place. How will effectiveness be measured and preferences if you're valuing your outcomes, your consequences, or where will the data be obtained? So if you have to give a dollar value or quality to your healthcare interventions, then you can maybe find data available in the literature about these. What is the source of the cost data? What are the prices and quantities of the elements that are into the inputs? What are the side effects of your healthcare interventions and predictable occurrences of these? What is the time horizon that you're looking at for the economic evaluation? And you would need to have it justified, and it needs to be relevant, whether it's 1 year, whether it's a lifetime. If it is a longer period, such as a lifetime, is discounting being considered? And finally, this is a checklist of the different elements for an economic evaluation, which I won't go through, but I invite you to read. And I wish to thank you for listening to this video, and I invite you to visit our website at hsprn.ca for a more detailed handout on economic evaluation, and also to other videos on health services research methods.